Hi everyone, welcome to this restorative yoga practice. I am Laura Dunford and I'm so glad that you have found your way here. For those of you that are new to restorative yoga, just know that it's a very gentle practice, little to no movement at all. We tuck ourselves in using lots of props. Pillows and blankets, blocks, bolsters, those types of things, which I'll go over in just 1 second. And then as we settle into our restorative posture using those props, we really release our effort and just rest deeply, holding the postures for a few minutes at a time. Yeah, so today I'm so happy that you can join me, and I would just love to go over the props that we'll use for this practice and some ways that you can modify these props if you don't have them at home. So ways that you can create these props using the resources that you likely have around your space. Good. So we'll start by talking about bolsters. That's these rectangular cushions here. Well, rectangular and cylindrical. So if you don't happen to have a bolster or two, then you can make good use of a couple of bed pillows, rectangular bed pillows, and you can have them stacked up. You might even tie them together if you have the time to make that happen before you practice, to have something thick, something substantial that you can relax on. So I use this for several postures. You might have a cylindrical bolster instead. These ones I love for supporting the legs. And if you don't have a cylindrical bolster, but you'd like to have a combination of these two props for ultimate comfort and luxury, then you could also make use of maybe an extra yoga mat rolled up, or even a foam roller, some of those cylindrical foam rollers, maybe wrapping that up in a blanket as well, an extra yoga mat or a foam roller. We have yoga blocks. And again, if you don't have those at home, then you can make use of pillows like this. So we will have one of these, even if you do have blocks, one or two of these types of cushions, just a small cushion. But if you don't have blocks, then you might find some extras of these for certain poses. So just having lots of pillows and blankets around, you're getting the point that that's important, and that can be just as good as any of our other yoga props. A scarf or something to cover your eyes can be nice. I do love to recommend in restorative yoga a scarf, because there are times when we might be lying with the head turned to one side, and a yoga pillow, an eye pillow, can kind of fall away. So you might like to use a scarf. You can turn your head easily that way from side to side, or maybe a mask with a strap on it if you do feel relaxed by having the eyes covered. Finally, I have 2 yoga mats here today. If you just have one, then that might be just fine. That might be perfect for you. If your floor is quite hard, you might have a blanket that you wish to put over your yoga mat for some extra padding. So a yoga mat and a blanket under your body, and then having another blanket to keep your body warm. So even though you might be feeling that you're quite warm or quite comfortable at this time, our body temperature really does tend to lower as we soothe the nervous system. So this practice is very soothing for the central nervous system, and we tend to cool off, to calm. Just as we cool the mind or cool our emotions through this practice, then we also cool the physical body. So blankets and things for warmth are also helpful. So you can take a moment to get all of those items settled, and then we'll dive right in. And our first posture that we'll practice is a supported back bend. So if you have blocks, maybe 1 or 2 blocks, you can place them on your mat in a capital letter T shape. So the top of the T, if you're imagining a T here, then this block would be on its middle level. And if you just have The second block will be on its lowest level, but if you just have one block, then you could focus on this, that one block here, the bottom of the T, and then you can reach for pillows to prop up the height a bit. And taking a bolster, or whatever you're using as a bolster, on top. So you sense that you have a little bit of a hill here, and we're going to lay back on this hill. Wonderful. Maybe a pillow comes on top of your bolster. That will support your head. You can have blankets and your eye covering close by. If you have an extra rolled blanket around, then you might like to use that. An extra rolled blanket, I'm using a second bolster, but you could use a foam roller, extra rolled blanket, or a yoga mat as a second bolster to put underneath your legs. So when we're first settling into this pose, you bring your bum right up close to the cushion so it touches, but you're sitting on your mat or on your bed, wherever you're practicing. And take your time to start to lay back. You can adjust. I like to do this before I lay right back. Adjust your prop that you're using for your legs if you have one there. And tuck perhaps a pillow or a folded blanket beneath your head. Your shoulders start to scooch inward, so drawing them toward the spine behind you. Notice the low back, so this is one of the key places to check in with as you start to settle in to this supported back bend. So you may wish to lift your bum for a second, slide the fleshy part of the bum downward, and then with the low back feeling long and smooth, rest back down again. So with our restorative postures, it's very important that we put a lot of effort into getting comfortable. So the time that we spend getting into the pose really sets us up for success so that we can release our effort while we're in the pose. So you might cover yourself with a blanket. You could take a scarf or an eye pillow and drape that over your eyes to shut out the light. Notice that the chin isn't reaching up into the air. So you want to be sure that your chin isn't stretching way, way up. You might even tuck the chin down toward the throat a little bit. And the final way that you can support your body or area that you may need a bit of support will be through the shoulders. If there's any strain through the shoulders, if it feels like the floor is a bit far away, not quite making it there without pulling at the shoulders, then maybe you put a pillow beneath the arm on either side. So you're getting the sense that lots of pillows and blankets handy is very helpful for these poses. Take any final shifts. Any final micro movements to support yourself in getting comfortable. You might even ask yourself, is there an adjustment that may bring me just 2% closer to absolute comfort? Know that it is worth your effort. Taking that slight adjustment could make a significant impact on your ability to relax here. To be effortless, surrendering into gravity is the goal here. Can you allow in each restorative pose your props, gravity, and the ground below to do all of the work for you here? Abandon the weight of the body. As you tuck yourself into each posture, you might invite the same feeling that you would carry in your heart, that you would experience if you were tucking in a loved one, if you were caring for a loved one, maybe a family member, friend, or even a little child. All of the attention, compassion, the patience, the care that you would exude in this act. Can you offer all of this to your own self? Any time that you might need to adjust in any of these restorative postures, know that you can, anytime. If you need to sit up, shift, or if there's a slight adjustment that might get you even 1% more comfortable, give yourself permission to make that shift, to honor your unique body and the wisdom you carry within this unique body. Every movement, as you move deeper and deeper into these postures and into relaxation, every shift could be translated into an expression of love. Love and care for your own being. As you continue to relax back in this supported back bend, begin to draw your attention to the natural rhythm of your breathing. You might breathe in and out of the nose. Maybe in through the nose and out of the mouth. Whatever supports you in relaxing the rhythm of your breath. In smoothing and evening out your breathing. You can sense the natural rise and fall of your inhales and your exhales, and you might even sense that this posture opens you up to experience the breath in a unique way. Maybe you can take the breath a little deeper into the low ribs and the belly. And as you bring your awareness to your breath, we'll start to layer in another detail. Beginning to count our breaths to a pace of 4. So you can absolutely change this number to 3 or 5 or whatever works for you, whatever feels comfortable and relaxing. And the way that we do this is by breathing in for a count of 4 and breathing out for a count of 4. So first, let's take a deep breath in together. Breathe out of your mouth. A cleansing exhale. Then we breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 3, 2, 1. Breathing in. 2, 3, 4, and out. 3, 2, 1. In. 2, 3, 4. Out. 3, 2, 1. You can keep going. Notice if the count of 4 is feeling the most optimal for you in your nervous system. You might lengthen the breath if you wish. Beginning to explore Samavriti Pranayama, or same wave breath. So you might imagine the inhale like a wave rolling in, the exhale a wave rolling out, and you match the length of these two events in the breath in one cycle, and start to notice the pauses between the inhales and the exhales. Keep counting. Notice the pause. And if it feels right, if it feels grounding for you, soothing for you, you might start to pause between the inhale and exhale. So you could breathe in 2, 3, 4, and pause. 3, 2, 1. Then exhale. 2, 3, 4, and pause. 3, 2, and 1. In, 2, 3, 4, pause. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, pause. 3, 2, 1. Keep going, counting, bringing more and more of your awareness to your breath. And you might imagine as you move along, as you breathe in this way, that you are tracing in your mind's eye the shape of a square. This breath work is sometimes called box breathing. Very calming for the nervous system. And you might imagine that as you draw this shape, you are tucking yourself into a safe space, like you're creating a container with this breath. Just a couple more rounds at your own pace, wherever you are in the breath, and I'll count 2 more rounds for us. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, pause at the top, 3, 2, 1, breathing out, 2, 3, 4, pause at the bottom, 3, 2, 1, last round in, 2, 3, 4, pause, 3, 2, 1, exhale, 2, 3, 4, pause, 3, 2, 1. Allow your breath to return now to its natural rhythm as you sense the effect. Creating a safe space for yourself, containing making room for whatever is here, whatever might come up for you through your practice. Feeling welcome with warmth and compassion. Take another deep breath in through your nose and a full breath out of the mouth. And again. You can keep breathing in this way, in through the nose, out of the mouth. As you start to stretch gently, you could begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, to rock your head from side to side. So you might still be inhaling through the nostrils, exhaling through the mouth as you take a stretch. The arms could reach up overhead. You might even reach out through your fingertips and your toe tips and have a big sigh, a big yawn. Good, and let's pause with the palms facing down on the ground. You can move your prop if you had one under your legs here and start to shift so your knees can rock from side to side. Knowing that these moments between our restorative postures, these are just as much a part of the practice. So we keep our movements slow, gentle, deliberate, so we can continue soothing the nervous system even through these moments of transition. Beautiful. Now the next time that you shift so your legs draw over toward the right side, you can slowly lift yourself upward. You might use your arm on that side. Your hands can press down. So we'll shift to be sitting on the right side hip. And scooch up to the bolster if you found that you sort of creeped and crawled away from it a little. So sitting on the right hip, the bolster is out to our side here. Now you may like the height of your cushion, or you might wish to lower the height a little bit. I like to take a block away for this next pose. If there's any discomfort through the right side hip, then you might take a blanket underneath it for some extra padding, just depending on what you're resting on tonight. If it's the floor, maybe it's a nice soft bed. So we have the bum nice and close to the bolster. It's beside the body. Another option is to take something between the knees to keep your hips parallel, neutral. And then we turn to face the bolster so you can feel a little bit of a twist. Start to walk your hands forward here toward the end of your mat. So you're laying down on your bolster. Take all the time you need to get comfortable, to get settled. So you might adjust through the front of the body, and you can turn your head to this side, the same side that your knees are pointing. If you wish, you can put a folded blanket or pillow beneath your head. So we want to make sure that there's no effort through the neck. Shifting if you need. Remember that all of the effort of the restorative pose is here in these moments that we're settling in. So be detail-oriented. This is your permission to fidget and adjust as much as you need to. There's no rush to settle in. You might even cover your body with a blanket here. Remember the energy of tucking a loved one in for a precious rest, because that is, in fact, what you are doing. Tucking your beloved self in for intelligent rest, precious rest. You may close your eyes. You may cover the eyes with your scarf. Take any additional shifts Remember that you can lift yourself upward. You can move if you need to anytime. As you begin to settle, you could sense the points of contact that your body shares with your props and the ground below. Allow yourself to melt into these points of contact. And just as in life, when we allow ourselves to open up and to let go, we are shown just how fully supported we really are, how we are held by our communities, in the same way. As you relax here, as you release your effort, further and further, you can sense that you are met with more and more support. Give yourself permission to relax. As you continue to relax here, you might call into your mind's eye or into your heart someone that you wish to share the benefits of tonight's practice with. Someone that you wish were here. Maybe they would come if they could. Or perhaps they've never enjoyed the practice of yoga before, and you might wish they would give it a try. And this being Can you imagine their face? This might be a face of the present, a face of the past or of the future. Can you imagine their face? They might be smiling. And as you visualize you and this being connecting, could you imagine that the benefits that you will experience this evening from your practice, or perhaps the culmination of your practices tonight and in the past, can you imagine this being also receiving these benefits? You don't have to think about what these benefits are. You may focus on the feeling that you get after practice, or the feeling that you're experiencing right now. A peacefulness, easefulness, calm, revitalization, a sense of trust, love, support. Call into your mind's eye and into your heart the visualization of this being receiving these same benefits tonight. And you can trust that the benefits you experience will echo beyond this practice. They will reverberate outward into the rest of your evening, into your day tomorrow, your week, and into the other hearts that you will encounter. When we practice, everyone around us truly does benefit. Perhaps there's a bit of comfort in that. Allow your awareness to travel back into your own heart center. Settling here. Trusting in the never-ending wisdom of the heart. The openness of this space that truly is endless. There is room for whatever may be here. begin to deepen your breath. To lengthen, to deepen your breath. And when you feel very ready, we'll begin our transition to this twist on the opposite side. Know that you can take all the time you need, and remember that slow movements are best. You might start by wiggling your fingers. And then pressing down through the palms to lift yourself upward. At this point, you could turn away from your bolster so that your back comes near the cushion. You might rock your knees from side to side a little bit between sides before we come into the twist on the left. And whenever you're ready, you can sit over on the left, starting to settle in on the left hip. And I'm just going to flip around so I can continue to face you. But you can start to get comfortable settling in on the left side hip, maybe with a pillow or a blanket under the hip, or maybe a pillow between the knees to keep the hips neutral. Good. Perhaps another blanket over your body. All of your props that are handy. And it might feel different here on this side. You don't have to do the have the same height. You can raise your bolster up, lower it down. You can add pillows on top if you need, or take them away. So you're sitting on left hip, nice and close to the cushion. You can frame it with both of your hands, starting to feel the twist there as you start to walk your hands downward. Resting the left ear onto the prop now. So the head turns in the same direction as the knees. You're looking in the same way that the knees are pointing. Take all the time you need to get comfortable, just as many micro movements as you need to, slight adjustments to get comfy. You may sense that the effects of the other postures echo into this one. That the benefit of your practice is beginning to become cumulative. Like the momentum is really building. And the relaxation is becoming more and more potent in each posture, with each breath, each moment here. Trusting in the intelligence of your being. You truly do know how to relax. You truly do Know how relaxed you need to be tonight. You can sense the intelligence of life with every beat of your heart. With every breath that you take here. Sense your vitality, the presence of your prana, this universal life force coursing through you. And as you allow yourself to open to the sense of trust in the presence of this prana, this life force within, this intelligent energy that lives in you, the same undercurrent that guides all of nature, that has brought us all here to this moment. You can allow your heart, your ears, your mind, your whole being to open to the power of intention. Intention and affirmation. Simply listening. And trusting that though every day may not be a good day, there is always something to smile about, something good in each day. Though every day may not be a good day, there is something good in each day. Though at times conditions in life are not perfect, you can trust that you are resilient and strong, and you have what it takes to thrive. Though these conditions are not perfect, I am resilient and strong and have what it takes to thrive. Though there are things in life that are beyond my control, I know that I own my life and am free to make my own choices. Though there are things in this life that are outside of my control, I own my life and am free to make my own choices. Though hard times come and create challenges, I am prepared to take advantage of the great opportunities that life presents me with. Though hard times come and I am faced with challenges, I am prepared to take advantage of the great opportunities life presents me with. Noticing any sensations in the body that those affirmations might have created, any emotional tones. Notice whatever is here in this moment. Remembering that there is room for it all in this safe space. Feel the breath holding you here. Carrying you with a little more peace and calm from one moment to the next. Whatever is here. The breath is with you. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Let out a gentle sigh. Take another deep breath in through your nose. Let out another gentle sigh. Maybe it's a little louder now. One more time. Begin your transition back up toward a seat by pushing into your hands, taking all the time you need to lift yourself up, and you might find intuitive movement as you first rise to your seat. We are going to move into a position with the legs outstretched. So you can turn away from your bolster or turn toward it, whatever is the most easeful in your space. Whatever you're using as a bolster, you can take it under your knees now. Having handy your pillows. You might even use, if you have blocks for this one, you could put a block in between some pillows as well. You may have a blanket on top of your legs. I should have mentioned that before. You might tuck in with a blanket over the legs, or you can also put it behind your body for this next pose. We won't hold this one for as long as we have held the other postures. This is a supported forward bend, so it flows nicely with the series of twists and back bending that we've done. You can shift and scooch so that you feel rooted through your sits bones. And with this tower in front of you, and you might need to adjust it a little bit as you start to settle in, you could begin to fold forward. So your legs are supported at the back. This is a nice way to make sure that there's not a lot of sensation in the hamstrings and the calf muscles. I like to fold my arms in front and then rest. You can rest your head down on your forearms or on your fists. You might even prefer to turn your head to one side and let your arms rest at your sides. Making your tower taller if needed, shorter. You might turn the bolster if you have a bolster under your knees and there's a lot of sensation at the backs of your legs. You can make that a little taller if needed by turning it on its side. Again, we won't be here in this pose for as long as the others, but we do want to make sure we'll get as comfortable as possible. Nice and warm and comfy. Notice your breath. Coming back to the natural rhythm of your inhales, exhales. You might feel yourself breathing into the back of the body, expanding, widening the space at the back of the heart, low ribs, the space behind the belly. giving your whole entire being, your body, your mind, your breathing, permission to relax here. You might feel yourself softening just naturally into the pose a little more and more deeply. Begin to breathe in through your nose and slowly, gently out of your mouth. Now on your next inhale, take 2 sips in through your nose. And a full steady exhale through the mouth. 2 sips in through the nose. A full breath out of the mouth. Keep going. 2 more times. Last one. Emptying on the exhale. Notice if you can soften forward a little more. Naturally melting into gravity. And slowly now, we'll come to sit up taller. You might find movement that supports you again after that, any intuitive movement. And from here, we'll be laying on the back, getting ready for Shavasana. So at this point in the practice, I truly hope that you are feeling deeply relaxed already. And as you start to prepare for Shavasana, just know that you can take this foundation of relaxation with you and allow the momentum to carry you into deep regenerative rest. I would love to guide you through a Yoga Nidra practice. If you have the space for that in your day, I have included a link in the video description as well as in the comments below to a Yoga Nidra that is meant to follow this restorative yoga practice. So something to guide you through like an extended Shavasana. You can continue to be getting comfortable and just simply find the link below and it will take you right to the video nice and easily. And I would love to share with you that I also guide restorative yoga online each Wednesday evening. So this can be joined from anywhere in the world. It is at 7:30 p.m. EST time. And I send out a recording of the practice after each class. So truly you can practice it from any time, anywhere, even if you can't make it for the live call. So if you found that the restorative yoga practice today was enjoyable, then please do be in touch. I have my website in the description and in the comments below as well. So you can follow the link there to sign up for restorative yoga each week. And yeah, I hope to see you again soon and enjoy the Yoga Nidra. Namaste.